welcome to this month's J&J Marketing Cafe presented by Photo Art Pavilion. Thank you for joining us live today. The benefit of being here live is to join the discussion at the end of our cafe. Please keep your mic muted, drop your questions in the chat at any time, and we'll get to as many questions as possible during the Q&A in just a little bit. Hi, I'm Jessica Limpin, co-founder and COO of Photo Art Pavilion. My business partner is here today, Joanne Hennig. She is the CEO, and I'm going to invite her in at the end of today's conversation to have her shed her insights on us as well. We are a women-owned and women-run business dedicated to supporting fine art photographers in today's digital world. So what is Photo Art Pavilion? It's always a good question. We're a national curated marketplace built exclusively for fine art photographers. Whether you're emerging or established, we're here to help you, either with sharing your vision with your audience, displaying with confidence in a professional gallery or storefront, and also growth with marketing support tailored to independent photographers like yourself. So if you're interested if you're not with us already with Photo Art Pavilion and interested, you can visit us at photoartpavilion.com/webinar to get signed up with our next webinar, which is later on today. And with owning a Photo Art Pavilion storefront or photo gallery, there's no stress. There's no expensive website. It's just your art beautifully displayed. Some of the features that we love and rave about is the 100% commission to you. Setup is in under 5 minutes. Bulk image upload, unlimited artwork for you to be able to grow your storefront. You can do personal blog, social media links, and of course, a curated buyer-friendly layout, and so much more. So definitely join us when you can on that, if you're not with us already. Now, whether you're with us or not, and you are seeking more assistance with your marketing, we can help you. Joanne and I have created Sidekick Marketing Agency to help give your marketing for your art a bit of a boost. We are here to help you create content because we know how overwhelming it feels, trying to create beautiful work, trying to get people to understand your work and so on. And that's why you're here with us today. But if you're looking to help develop content for your social media, your email marketing campaigns, blog posts, or more, definitely give us a check or check us out at photoartpavilion.com/sidekick. Now, what you're all here for, today's main event. All right, now that you're all here and you know a little bit more about who we are and what we do to help support photographers, let's dive into today's topic. Inside the mind of the art buyer, turning insight into holiday success, right? We all want to add a little bit more success to our goals for the end of this year, and you're in the right place. Every photograph tells a story, but have you ever stopped to think about the story happening on the other side of the frame? Right? The collector story, the mindset, emotion, and reason behind why someone chooses your image to hang in their home. The goal is to shift from selling art to understanding people, because understanding the why people buy art changes how you present, market, and sell your work, especially during the holiday season when emotions run high. So first, let's dive into the art buyer's mindset. So emotional connection over technical perfection. As photographers, we tend to see everything in our photos. The little imperfections, the shadows that might be a touch too deep, or perhaps the highlight that got clipped, or that one distracting element we wish we cloned out sooner. We're trained to see the technical side, exposure, aperture, lens choice, sharpness. That's how we look at our own work. But here's the truth. Your collectors aren't looking through that same lens of yours. They're not standing in front of your image thinking, wow, I wonder what f-stop that was shot at. Or, that horizon could have been a little bit straighter. Nah, that's not just what they see. they're standing there asking themselves something completely different. They're thinking, how does that piece make me feel? Can I live with this image, see it every single day and still love it? Does this reflect something about me or my values? That's the conversation happening in their minds. They're not buying perfection, they're buying emotion. They're buying the feeling they get when they see your work, the story they can tell themselves or others about what it means, and the connection it brings into their home, their space. So when you present your art, whether it's online, at a show, or in your descriptions, lean into that space, that emotional world. Don't lead with technicals, lead with the heart, right? Art is in the word heart, right? It goes hand in hand. Because the more emotion you allow into your storytelling, the more your buyers will find themselves reflected in your art. That's where the connection happens, and that's what sells fine art photography. Now let's dive a little deeper into the buyer's inner dialogue. Now let's take a moment to step inside the mind of the art buyer. Let's listen in on what's really happening inside their thoughts when they're considering a piece of fine art photography. They're thinking things like, I want something unique, not mass produced. Or I want to support a real artist, someone who created this with their own hands and heart. Or perhaps it's I want art that feels like it has meaning, not just a decoration to fill the wall. And perhaps it's I want to invest in something lasting, something trendy, not something trendy that I'll be tired of next season. That's the conversation they're having with themselves. And it's not about the frame size or even the price tag. It's about the identity. When someone collects art, they're making a statement about who they are. They're saying, this is what moves me. This is what I value. This is how I see the world. So when someone chooses your photograph, they're not just buying paper and ink. They're buying emotion. They're buying the connection. In a way, they're buying a reflection of themselves through your lens, right? You captured a magical moment that spoke to them. That's amazing. You connected through a visual medium. It's fantastic. Fine art photography becomes a mirror, one that reflects their taste, their sophistication, and their emotional world. And when you start to understand that, you stop selling images and you start offering meaning or meaningful fine art. So now the investment mindset. Now, once a buyer feels that emotional connection, something shifts. They shift from feeling moved by your work to imagining it in their life. And during the holiday season, that emotional shift gets stronger because this time of year, people aren't just buying things. They're buying meaning, they're reflecting, celebrating, and searching for something that feels lasting. So let's step into the mindset for a moment. Some buyers are thinking about legacy gifts, right? Something that truly is special that can be passed down. Maybe it's a father buying an image of the sea because it reminds him of the summers with his family at the shore. Or a daughter gifting a photograph that captures her parents' favorite place. Or maybe it's a memory of hers during a family trip. Others are thinking about personal indulgence. They've worked hard all year, they've given to others, and now they want to reward themselves with something beautiful, something that inspires them every time they walk by it. That's not vanity, that is self-celebration, and you want to celebrate those type of buyers. And then there's the experience creators. They're prepping their homes for gatherings, holidays, new beginnings. Perhaps it's their office even. Maybe they're looking to refresh their entire facility. Who knows what their background is, but they're preparing and they're looking for that transformation within their space. That sets the tone for how the season feels or even how the new year will feel to them. These are powerful motivations. And when you understand that, you realize November and December are not slow months whatsoever. These are the months when hearts and wallets are both open. People are ready to invest, not in art, but in emotion, memory, connection. They're seeking beauty with purpose. And your work, your vision is that purpose. So now we know a little bit about that inside thinking, right, of your art buyer. But now let's shift as artists. So let's speak the language of emotion. So now we understand the collector's mindset, how they're buying their heart with their hearts first and not their heads, right? Let's talk about how we as artists can start speaking their language. And that language, again, is emotion. So often I hear artists describe their work like this. This image was taken with a 70mm lens at sunset on the coast. That's great. But what is that going to do for the buyer? Now, technically, it's all accurate, but it's emotionally empty. It tells what happened, not how it felt. So instead, let's imagine if you change the narrative in your marketing, in your product description, in your email marketing, everything, blogging, and change it to something like this. I was standing in complete stillness at the first light touched the water. It felt like the world was whispering to me to pause. And that's what this piece is about. Calm, reflection, and new beginnings. Doesn't that change how you see that image? I know us photographers, we like the details. So, I mean, if you really wanted to, in your own product image, gallery, and so on, put that information at the bottom, right? That 70mm lens and all that. Those are great, like search SEO elements and stuff. But let's talk to the art buyer first, right? That's what this is all about. You want to be able to share your work with people who want to invest in your work. So speak to them first, and you can do the technical side at the end. Now, I'm sure you felt the difference, heard the difference. One speaks to the head, the other speaks straight to the heart. That second version doesn't just describe the photo, it invites the viewer in. It gives them something to feel, something to relate to, something to want. And that is what the buyer wants to share when they bring your art into their home. They're not just hanging a picture, they're hanging a story. They're saying, this is what peace feels like to me, or this reminds me to slow down. That's the connection you're trying to build with your fine art. So align your presentation with their desires. Once you start speaking emotionally, everything else in your presentation should follow that same energy. And in presentation, anytime you're displaying your work, so whether it's within your gallery, it's an email, a blog post, a social media content, it should all come with emotion and heart. So let's go from the top. Let's start with your titles and descriptions. Now, we've done other J&Js. We talk about this all the time, how to change the language behind your work. So all your titles and descriptions should evoke feeling, not just facts. However, for SEO world, you do kind of want to add a little bit of fact in there. But don't tell me where it was shot just yet. Tell me what it represents. Use words like stillness, wonder, grace, hope, renewal. So as you see in this image on the screen, whispers of dawn, abstract beach sunrise, it kind of gives you that heart first, and then the type of photography it was and where it was, right? That's heart with SEO mixed in. All right. Once you're done looking at your work, review your artist bio. Buyers don't want a resume. They want your humanity. Tell them why you photograph and what you photograph. What brings you joy? Tell them what moves you, what inspires you, what you're searching for when you press that shutter, or that magical moment behind the image when you took the shot, right? They want to be a part of your world. That's the story that helps collector connect with you. And finally, your holiday marketing. Remember, this season is emotionally charged. Use that energy intentionally. Connect your art to meaningful moments. You might frame your work around the idea, gifting serenity. Perhaps it's celebrating wonder, or even capturing time. Picture a nice waterfall with that milky water going through. These words help connect art with emotion, and emotion connects buyers to you. These words, I'm sorry. So every caption, every post, every description, let it speak from the heart about the art. Because when you speak the language of emotion, you're not just promoting photography, you're helping people feel something real. And that's what makes your work unforgettable. Build trust. Here's some magic. Here's something really important to remember. Buyers don't just invest in art, they invest in artists they trust, right? We always say people invest in people. So give them the reason why someone should invest in you, which is your work. That trust doesn't come from a single post or a pretty picture. It's built slowly through presence, consistency, and authenticity. This time of year, November into December, is your moment to build that connection because your collectors are active. They're online, they're looking, and they're listening. So be visible, show up on social media, send that email to your VIPs. Keep your online gallery fresh and active. Even a simple post that says, as the year winds down, I've been reflecting on how grateful I am for the moments I've been able to capture. That can go a long way. Let people see you, not just your finished prints, but the heart behind your work. Share the behind the scene glimpses of your process. Maybe it's the quiet moment before you press the trigger or the shutter, either one. Maybe it's your workspace as you package up prints for the holiday, or even a small reflection about what the season means to you as an artist. These moments remind people that there's a real person behind the art, someone genuine, thoughtful, and passionate. That's who they want to buy from. And when you present art, don't be afraid to use the words like collectible, meaningful, and lasting, because that's exactly what fine art photography is. It's not a temporary decor, it's something to be lived with, cherished, and passed on. So as you step into the season, remember visibility builds trust, trust builds connection, and connection creates collectors. So be present, be authentic, be seen. That's how you turn interest into investment. Now, a little section here, turning November and December into your season of growth. So here's a little strategy for us artists. Now that we understand the buyer's heart and mind are, or where the buyer's heart and mind are, let's talk about your strategy for connecting with them. This season is about emotion, meaning, and connection. So your presentation and marketing should reflect that. Start by creating themed collections that evoke feeling. Now, if you remember, I did a J&J a few months ago that talked about micro collections. This would be great to insert that in there. Think light and stillness or moments of wonder or even peaceful horizons. Give your audience a sense of story and mood, something they can emotionally step into. Next, offer perhaps a giftable sizes and highlight any limited editions. Sometimes a collector may not be ready for a large piece, but a smaller, beautifully framed print makes a perfect heartfelt gift for anyone, even themselves. Remind them that your work isn't just art. It's an experience they can give and give to themselves as well. Then tell micro stories on social media. For example, post an image and share a line like, "This image reminds me of slowing down during the holidays. I hope it brings someone that same peace." That's what resonates, what buyers remember. And finally, make it personal. Send a warm, genuine note or email. If you've been thinking about adding art to your space, this is a beautiful time to bring new inspiration home. It's not salesy, it's heartfelt. And you're giving them a simple reminder that beauty belongs in their life and that you can help them bring it there. So as you move through the season, remember connection drives collection. Your strategy is not just selling, it's about helping someone feel something meaningful through your lens. So here's a little bonus I wanted to add for you guys. So the big question was, who is buying art today, right? We want to know the demographics. So before we end, let's jump into these quick stats because I'm sorry, no, skipping that. Here's what the data tells us. Millennials and Gen Z are the most likely to buy direct from artists. They're discovering art through Instagram, social media, and they value the personal connection, and they're completely comfortable purchasing from their phones through online galleries. Then we've got Gen X. They're the biggest spenders of all. They love art fairs, galleries, and any kind of art advisors. But they're also increasingly open to direct artist relationships through social media, especially when it feels authentic. And of course, our baby boomers, loyal to tradition, they still feel most comfortable or confident buying through galleries and perhaps auctions or networking through professional means. But they're also starting to explore online when they trust and professionalism is clear to them. So what does that mean for you? It means the wall between art and collector is gone. Today's collectors, especially millennials and Gen Z, want connection, transparency, and easy access. They're not just buying art, they're buying a part of you. They want to know the story, the soul, the process. They want to feel part of something personal and meaningful. So here's your takeaway. In this new era of art collecting, visibility equals opportunity. The more you share your story, the more doors open for you, whether you see it right then and there or as it happens slowly. Nothing good is rushed, right? Your next collector isn't waiting in a gallery. They're scrolling their feed right now, looking for an artist who speaks to their heart. So let's make sure that artist is you. Now, Joanne, I would like to bring you in to share your 2 cents on all of this.
That's good, very good. I have a couple of 2 cents, as always. My notes over here. So you mentioned the word heart an awful lot, and this is a word that resonates with me only from my own experience in selling art. I've always noticed that when a consumer makes a purchase of my artwork, there is a heart-to-heart connection. And it's always obvious, and I feel like that is something that you have to kind of put into your artwork, and as Jessica's mentioned, putting it into your descriptions, whether it be on your website, uh, or within your social media, or if you're drafting direct email campaigns, to have that heart-to-heart connection, something inside of you stirred for you to actually not only snap that image, but then to drag it into your post-production process, expand upon it, improve upon it, and so forth and so on. And that is your heart that you're putting into that art piece. That is what needs to be translated off to the other side. Too often, photographers tend to fill their art galleries with any any image that they photographed, and they just, I took this picture, I took that picture. They're thinking that the more um, dense their portfolio is, that the better opportunity it is to make a sale. And I find that the opposite is true. I think you have to really go through your artwork and your images and look at the ones that really speak to you. Because if it speaks to you, then you can translate that voice to the buyer. So that's the heart to heart that I think is really the basis of selling artwork. And even if you look at the bigger artists out there, as big as well, Ansel Adams is off the charts. I mean, he's ancient and he's long past, but his artwork still sells. And why is that? Because he really did put his heart into those iconic images, and that is something that still translates and resonates in today's marketplace. So something for you to think about going forward there. This time of year, one of the things that I feel as an artist we have to focus on. Now, here we are today is mid-November. We're kind of running out of those quote unquote sales days. We're going to be bumping into Black Friday, which we are going to have a very difficult time competing against the big box stores and all of that. And you're coming against some of those major uh, organizations that are really great at moving product, right? But we're not moving product. We're moving something that's called an emotion. The art piece is an emotion. So what I like to look for this time of year is with this late in the game for art sales, I like to look for familiarity, local familiarity. So many of us in the art photography community, we photograph a lot in our own communities, our own geographic locations, if you will. And I find that the familiarity pieces this time of year start to sell. So, most folks that are in your contact list, whether it be your direct email campaigns, let's stick with that for just a second. Most likely, anybody that's in your direct email list is someone that is a local person or business that you've created some sort of a relationship with. The familiarity aspect of your art will then come front and center on uh, procuring sales because at this time of year they're again feeling that heart to heart. Now we've got something familiar, something that's in the local geography that they identify with, whether it be a place where they went to have their engagement photo shoot, 25 years ago, or something else. That is an element that comes to the forefront as well, because you have to be thinking this late in the game for art sales in the art selling season. Who is your audience? Who's in your direct email list? I think we're good, right, Jess?
Yes, I agree. Bye, everyone. It was good
All
seeing
right.
you. Thank you for joining us live.